was a seemingly small action of a seamstress in Alabama that sparked a key turning point in the civil rights movement. Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat at the front of the bus to a white person because she was tired of segregation laws that viewed African Americans as unequal to white people. In a speech honoring Rosa Parks on the 100th anniversary of her birth, President Obama reflected on her actions that day. We remind ourselves that although the principle of equality has always been self-evident and it has never been self-executing, says Obama. While honoring Parks' contribution to the civil rights movement, he was reminding the citizens of today that it is not enough to simply believe in a cause. You must speak up and stand up for what you believe in order to make a change in the world. It's important to remember the Montgomery bus boycott and honor the woman who sparked the modern civil rights movement, Rosa Parks, as a struggle for racial justice that she did so much to advance continues. We must hold on to our history. It is our freedom legacy. It can teach us important lessons about what we must do today to advance along the freedom road. It can inspire us to perceive in these reactionary times, when there is no movement comparable to that of the 1960s. And yet, we must be vigilant and never forget that freedom is a constant struggle. Our history can only guide and inspire us if it is a truthful and accurate history. And we must be aware that there are many who could censor and distort our history to pacify and mislead us. Positive changes in the world do not just happen on their own. They are caused by the people in the world who see a problem and take action. Rosa Parks did not wake up on December 1st in 1955 knowing that she was going to do something to stand up against segregation. But when faced with injustice, she refused to stay silent. In his speech, President Obama stated that Rosa Parks was not the first to confront the injustice of segregation laws. Her courageous act of civil disobedience sparked the Montgomery bus boycott. It was 381 days of peaceful protest when ordinary men, women, and children sent the extraordinary message that second-class citizenship was unacceptable. Here, Obama recognized how important it is when one person speaks out against unfairness and chooses to act on their beliefs, instead of just accepting the way things are. Because Parks was willing to go to jail to prove the system was wrong, others were inspired to take action and support the cause that they believed in too. The citizens of Montgomery organized carpools so they wouldn't have to ride the bus, and after more than a year of losing money, the city gave in. The boycott led to the segregation laws being overturned and was a significant victory for the civil rights movement. With great courage and a simple act, Rosa Parks was able to make a difference in many lives. The image of Rosa Parks herself has been pacified. Although she is not an unsung hero, the image of her that we have been fed by the media is wrong-sung. She has been made to appear a simple woman who is tired after a long day of work, too tired to move to the back of the bus to make way for a white passenger. Yet that is not truthful or accurate history. Rosa Parks was no more physically tired that day than on any other day. No, she was tired of abuse and humiliation. As Rosa Parks said herself, "The only tired I was tired of giving in." We need to know that freedom is a constant struggle against injustice. Rosa Parks had resisted mistreatment on the Montgomery buses for years. She had been an NAACP activist for 10 years before she got arrested on that day on December 1st, 1955. Rosa Parks dedicated her whole life to the freedom struggle, and we need to know that, because that's what it takes to walk the long road to freedom. Unfortunately, to this day, Americans are still fighting to legally restrict or remove the rights of certain groups of people. These acts of prejudice often go unnoticed, or worse, ignored. From innocence of bullying on the playground to racial or cultural groups not enjoying the same unalienable rights of others. Many may say that they support equality, but few people actually do something about it. The meaning of Obama's quote is actually pretty simple. We remind ourselves that although the principle of equality has always been self-evident, he says, means that it is clear and obvious that we are all equal and deserve the same rights. When he says it has never been self-executing, though he means that those rights will not just happen without action, Obama's main message is that everyone has the ability to stand up for equality. But unless they actually speak up for what they believe and do something about it, it will never get done. Barack Obama is evidence of the significant changes that have occurred in America because of the activists of the civil rights movement. The brave actions of ordinary folks like Rosa Parks helped move our country forward to a place where an African American can be elected president. For this reason and many more, it is true that our country has undergone some big changes that challenge racial inequality. However, the US is a country that is a work in progress, one in which racial and cultural equality is still an active struggle. It will be through the dedicated actions of ordinary, thoughtful citizens who stand up and demand their voices be heard that this goal will someday be accomplished. Thank you.